right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I've got for you guys today, the latest physique update from Terrence Ruff, which he says is from this week, the week of the Pittsburgh Pro. These shots from the back where he's absolutely peeled to the bone. I still think that we're probably going to see one of, if not the best version of Terrence Ruffin's physique that we've ever seen on this kind of comeback tour that he's doing. And he also said in the caption of this post that this is by far the best prep that he's ever had physically, spiritually, and emotionally. So whatever that means, it seems to be promising as far as how he's going to look. And then combine that with everything that we've seen from him going into the show, I think Terrence is going to win this. There's not really any doubt in my mind. I will be shocked if Terrence does not win this show based on that lineup that we saw, based on everything that we've seen from Terrence. I will really be shocked if Terrence doesn't win this. And that's all I really have to say about Terrence. I just think he looks incredible, and I think he's going to win this show. So let's move on to the next story here. The latest update from Michael KRIZO. Now, this video has been going around a lot, and this video is very heavily filtered. And we're lucky enough today to get a lot of updates from some of these top guys. But this video, obviously, crazy impressive, but I think it's pretty apparent that this is all kinds of filters going on in this, which makes him look even crazier than he actually looks. But if you go to KRIZO's YouTube channel, that's where you can find the original video where he's posing for Jim and Tyler Mannion at the NPC IFBB headquarters. And in that video, even without the filters, he looks absolutely insane. And I think, KRIZO, it's interesting with KRIZO because he is such a freak. He reminds me a lot of Marcus Rule in the sense that he has such a wow factor to his physique, and he has so much size. He comes in really good shape. But then when he goes against maybe smaller guys that are better on paper bodybuilders, he doesn't place as highly, and it surprises a lot of people. And I feel like that's kind of what people felt with Marcus Rule back in the day, is how is this guy not winning these shows? Because to the layman that might not know anything about bodybuilding, to a regular person coming in and watching a bodybuilding show, you see Marcus Rule next to anybody else. He's the biggest, most muscular guy on the stage, the freakiest. The layman would think that Marcus Rule would win, and I feel like that same logic kind of applies to Michael KRIZO. Is almost anybody looking at him is like, this guy's a freak. He's a monster. And it's hard to look at a video like this where he looks so impressive and think about the fact that realistically, we're probably thinking about a best-case scenario for KRIZO of fourth. And trust me, I would be super stoked to see KRIZO crack that top three. I would love to see that, and it'd be a hell of a comeback story for KRIZO. But just that top three to me is so solid. Martin, Nick, and Derek, I just can't see KRIZO or Bonac cracking in there. Now that Vito's out, I think it really is going to be KRIZO and Bonac fighting for that fourth place spot. But then you look at this update and you think, how can this guy not be considered for the top three? And, maybe he will, but who would he knock out? Here's a good question for you guys in the comments below. If KRIZO were to place higher than fourth, as good as he looks in this update, who would be the guy that you think of those three that he's most likely to knock out between Nick, Martin, and Derek? I just feel like that top three there is so solid. I just can't see it happening, but anything can happen in bodybuilding, and I think KRIZO looks amazing in these updates. I mean, what a comeback story with the shoulder injury, the surgery, from how he was looking 7 months ago to now. It's incredible, and I hope he does really well here. I would love for him to be a top three guy. I just don't see where he would fit in if he were to somehow crack that top three. To knock off one of those guys would be huge for him, and maybe he does it. Which brings me to my next story here. So Martin Fitzwater, he posted this update, and he says this is from 3 weeks out. And I actually think Martin looks really impressive in this update. And that's the interesting thing about Martin is, for the duration of this build-up to the Pittsburgh Pro, we've seen a lot of these top guys that we've been talking about post a lot of physique updates. Nick Walker in particular, one of the most talked about guys going into this show, and probably one of the most active as far as posting frequent updates. And maybe that's why he's been talked about so much. But Derek Lunsford has posted a lot of updates too. Martin, not so much. He did those 2 guest posings in the build-up to this show. Which, I mean, you could say technically neither Nick nor Derek officially did a guest posing in the prep for the Pittsburgh, so he has that. I just think all these guys are so close. Nick, Martin, and Derek, Nick and Martin in particular. It's just, I could see this going any which way. Nick versus Martin, I could see Martin winning, I could see Nick winning. I really don't know which way it's going to go. I feel like it's so close between these guys. And Derek, who knows? I mean, I feel like we all think Derek is going to win. At least I do. But then again, going into the Arnold, I feel like most people thought there's no way Samson's going to lose this. And then he did. Samson was like the clear, way far ahead of the pack favorite going into the Arnold, with Derek, right behind him as the, incumbent favorite. But if we learned anything from the Arnold this year, it's that anything can happen in bodybuilding. And I wonder if going into this show, if that is a possibility. I mean, we all kind of think Derek is going to win this based on his Arnold Classic performance. But, like I said, look what happened to Samson at the Arnold. What if Derek comes in here and the same thing happens? Everybody thinks he's going to win, and he ends up losing. And I guess that's another question for you guys in the comments down below. If Derek loses this show, which I think it is his show to lose is a better way to put it. But if he does lose this show, who is the guy that you think he loses to? Is it Nick? Is it Martin? Is it KRIZO? Is it Bonac? Because to be fair, here's the thing, is we saw Derek work with his new coach for one show, and it was a very good result. So it seems to be a very good working relationship, and whatever recipe, whatever formula they've got going on together seems to have worked. But it should be noted that they only did it one time so far, and this is kind of the proving ground here for Derek, is can they continue to replicate that success? And maybe the answer to that question could be no. We've certainly seen that happen before in bodybuilding, where somebody works with a new coach, or just say they work with a coach in general, and they hit it out of the park one time, where they look incredible, amazing, and then they're never able to reach that again, and they're not able to replicate that look again. We've seen that over and over and over again in bodybuilding. It's something that happens. Maybe that could happen to Derek. I still think he's going to win this show. But again, just thinking back to what happened at the Arnold with Samson, I mean, he was reigning Mr. Olympia going into the show. It seemed like he couldn't lose, and that it kind of has that feel with Derek right now, and maybe that's not the case. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below as you're looking at this competitor list here. We're one day out from this show. What are your guys' predictions? Who's going to win? What's your top 3? What's your top 6? Where's Martin going to place? Where's KRIZO going to place? What's your prediction for Classic Physique? Now, next up in the news, we got a couple little updates here of Ramon Dino, just days away from the guest posing at the Pittsburgh Pro. He looks incredible. I mean, as lean as he is, and knowing that he's at this high body weight, over 260, I can't believe, I just can't believe that he makes weight. Really, I mean, how good he looks in these pictures. And this is like full-blown off-season Ramon. He's got nothing. I mean, he doesn't need to qualify. He's already qualified. He's not going to compete before the Olympia. For him to be in this kind of condition, this far out from the Olympia, this deep into the off-season, and for him to weigh as much as he does, it's really surprising to me. I mean, every time I hear these numbers about Ramon's weight in the off-season, it really shocks me that he's able to make weight with how good of condition he's in at that weight. And I saw a Brazilian interview actually either yesterday or the day before where Ramon again said he's interested in going to men's open bodybuilding, which I believe he said in the past, but he stressed that point in this interview that I saw the other day. I believe it was with Brazil Bodybuilding News. And that's something that definitely interests me. When I look at Ramon's physique, and like I said, you look at the numbers on the scale and you look at how lean he is at these weights, he probably would do well in open bodybuilding. He's definitely not a small guy by any means, and I think he probably would do pretty well. And maybe he's limited by that weight cap. I mean, maybe that prevents him from growing as much as he really could if he were in open and just he could weigh, unlimited weight. So that's certainly something I'm interested to see, is Ramon switching to open bodybuilding, but I'm definitely excited to see. And we'll get kind of a preview of that on the guest posing as well. I believe the guest posing is separate from the competition. I believe the competition for open bodybuilding is tomorrow, May 10th, but the guest posing will be Sunday, May 11th. So I think they have them spread out over 2 separate days, but we will get to see a preview of Ramon next to an open bodybuilder, Samson Dowda, as well as Mike Sommerfeld and Keon Pearson. I think it's going to be very, very entertaining guest posing. I can't wait. And the final story that I've got for you guys today, Regan Grimes confirmed that he is doing the New York Pro. And I actually thought that Regan had already said he was doing the New York show like weeks ago. But apparently in his vlog, he said that as of the day of that vlog, he just decided he's doing the New York show. So I don't know what that's about. I had thought he already said he was doing it, but I guess now today confirming for sure he is doing it. And I think so far we've got Bonac and Nick Walker. Is Nick Walker confirmed for that? He is technically the defending champion, and it's only a week away from the Pittsburgh Pro. He's going to be in shape, so I would assume Nick's doing it. And assuming if Nick doesn't win the Pittsburgh Pro, he's going to have to qualify for the Olympia somehow. I think we probably will see Nick in New York, but we'll find out on Monday the full competitor list for New York. But as of now, we've got Regan Grimes confirmed. And I'll throw this rumor in here as well. I heard a rumor, unconfirmed, that if you're interested in which show Larry Wheels is doing, I heard a rumor that he's doing the Ireland show, which is a pro qualifier. So remember when I went through that list of shows that are going to be in a week, because Larry said on his story he'd be competing in a week, none of the U.S. shows were pro qualifiers, but the international ones, the one in Ireland was. So I heard a rumor that's the show he's doing, and I think we'll find out soon if that's true or not. That certainly is the show that I think people would least expect him to do, but I think we'll find out soon. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, click that bell notification icon. Just a short one tonight because the show's tomorrow. There's not much left to speculate about. So, as always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at Nick Strength Power. My Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power. My secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.